What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here in this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys, I want to talk about the release of Rebellion. Again, we don't know all of the details yet. We've had some things teased to us, but I want to look at it through the context or through the lens of what happened with Chaos Legion and what the differences are or are probably going to be with the Chaos Legion sale and the Rebellion sale. Now, there's two main things that I want to call out, which are somewhat interlinked, but the first one is that DEC was well above peg back then. If you remember back in 2021, October of 2021, the airdrop was still very much in full effect. It was only about a third of the way through the year or a fourth of the way through the year. DEC was like 15x its peg, which was kind of insane. And we were printing a ton of it. And so therefore, the team at the time elected to sell the packs, Chaos Legion packs, for credits or SPS, and that's the second part, right? We did have the packs sell or sold in SPS, and there was an added incentive, 10% of a discount if you were to buy an SPS. Now, this was, I believe, only for the pre-sale. So let's just focus in on the pre-sales for right now, because I think that's where we'll probably see a lot of the activity. Obviously, early on, that's the only activity we're going to see. But when you take those two things into account, considering where we're at now, right, with DEC kind of 25% below its peg and SPS, now 99% from where it was. I think it topped out at about $1 mid-October. So we're at 1.4 cents today, and much more SPS out in the ecosystem as well. I think there was about 200 million SPS, maybe 200 to 210, 220 million SPS total in the ecosystem at that time. And now I believe we have 1.13 billion. So the thing is, we saw a massive, massive utility that was given directly to SPS at that time. You could buy the packs for using SPS, and not only that, you get a 10% discount, right? Versus if you were to pay 4,000 DEC back at that time, it wouldn't have been, like, I don't know how much that would have been, right? 15x's peg, it would have been like a $60 pack or something like that. I don't know, my math might be off, but granted, and this was without vouchers, right? So I'm not even thinking about how the vouchers will play into this. So we had those two major changes, and then what essentially happened after that? Now, we could probably go back, look on chain, see what the team decided to do. I don't like it. Wasn't really worth my time to go back and look at that, because no matter what decision the team made, the outcome would have been the same. And what I mean by that is, all right, so the team is collecting a ton of revenue, company revenue in SPS. Because people are opting to pay for 10% less on the packs or a 10% discount on the packs with SPS. So now the team is holding all of this SPS, and they could go one of two ways. They could either choose to hold it for the long term, or they could sell it on the marketplace. Now, there was a massive drop in SPS at that time, which, again, I don't know what happened. Somebody can go back and check the data to see if the team was actually actively selling that SPS. And here's the thing: if they did sell that SPS, and then we dipped in November and throughout the rest of the year, the second phase of the sale, that was actually the smart thing to do. Because had they done option A, where they just held on to it, they'd be holding all this SPS, which would have gone down 99% in value. Again, we're doing all this from like a, hindsight is 2020, and there's no right or wrong answer here. I'm just trying to do an analysis on how the differences will somewhat play out, right? So we saw a massive drop in SPS. Whether you can attribute that to the end of the bull run, you can attribute that to if you go all the way macro, the pivot for the Fed to hike interest rates. All these things ended up happening, but there was probably some kind of sell pressure as the team was taking in profit at that time, or sorry, not profit, but revenue at that time, and wanting to pay out all of the wonderful people that they had on staff. So if they didn't do that and they held on, again, that wasn't a good look either, because look at where the company reserves are at. If they weren't selling it either to give to their employees or to maybe sell for other, reserve assets, whether it's Bitcoin or dollars, it would have been a bad move. So that's how we kind of view what happened. There was a huge pump, and then obviously a subsequent dump that was well timed with the rest of the market, right? So everything essentially dumped starting in November. So how does that differentiate from where we're at now, and what can we kind of expect, again, just from a like a theoretical perspective here with this? Well, obviously, it will not be sold in SPS. There's no discount given for SPS, but it is sold in DEC. And as of now, there is a discount on DEC as DEC is trading below its peg, right? So there's like a 25% discount. Essentially, if you go in and let's say packs are $4, if you're buying the DEC for them now, you can get them for $3 a pop, right? Again, if you're bringing fiat into the mix and buying DEC at its current market value, and we have seen DEC jump a little bit, right? It's pumped about 8 to 10%. It was below 700 splintoshis, and now it's flirting with 750, right? I think it's even crossed that a couple of times. So, what will how will this play out as we move forward? Now, I'm just going to give some rough numbers here again, and this is going to extend not just to the pre-sale. Although the pre-sale will just be a small snippet of what I'm trying to talk about, but really just the entire sale as a whole. Now, Matt was talking about how, whether it was on the previous town square or the town hall, 2 million packs is like the conservative estimate. If we can move 2 to 3 million packs out of whatever they end up minting, and then obviously doing a daily burn, then we will be in a good position. The company will be in a good position. So 2 million packs over the course of a year. What I want you guys to think about is this. Let's say somebody goes in and they buy they buy one pack for 4,000 DEC. All right. So obviously we're hoping that DEC through this will get back to peg. There'll be a situation where if we do sell 2 million packs, that's 8 billion DEC, of which we barely have over half of that available right now. But what's the difference this time? Well, if people decide to buy in DEC, I mean, even if they buy, actually, here's the truth, even if they buy in credits, and it might be even better if they end up buying in credits, half of that DEC goes to the DAO. It gets locked up in the DAO. The other half is for the team, and we know that they need to improve their runway. So a lot of this is going to be sold for assets that can be used to pay developers, pay server fees. It's going to be sold for cash. So let's just take a look again at the kind of macro scene of this. And again, you can apply any numbers. Maybe we only sell 1 million packs. Maybe we sell 10 million packs. The whole point, and what I think the genius of kind of Matt's proposal to push ownership of of Rebellion to the DAO and kind of set it up in this way is the simple fact that, okay, so you got 2 million packs, 4,000 DEC a pop. Over the course of a year, you have, let's just say 8 billion DEC that is needed in order to buy that, right? Half of that goes to the DAO where it gets locked up. The other half goes to the team, meaning that over the course of a year, there will be hopefully roughly 8 billion DEC worth of buying pressure to buy and hold those packs, right? Because we don't have 8 billion DEC, but there will only be 4 billion DEC worth of sell pressure from the team. Now, there could be sell pressure in other areas. Obviously, we don't have the full picture in terms of what's happening on the other chains as well. But either way, when I look at those numbers and I'm just like, okay, the team, we know that they need the revenue, but if you look at it, it's just like the community is going to buy however much they're going to buy. And you can say 8 billion or you can say 6 billion, 4 billion DEC. It doesn't matter. The point is that the sell pressure on the other side is going to be halved, right? And we know the team is going to sell, but it's going to be half of what the buy pressure is going to be. So the only way in which this, absolutely flops is if we don't sell any packs, right? Because or if we only sell like a small amount of packs. And kind of the number that I'm looking at here, which is even more conservative than where Matt is at, is 1 million packs. I mean, if we sell 1 million packs, that is 4 billion DEC, of which we only have 4.4 billion that's technically liquid, meaning that, there's about 200 million or so in the DAO from the Riftwatcher set right now. So if we were to sell 1 million packs, that would really be it. That would cover all of the DEC that we currently have in supply. And we haven't even talked about land yet. And hopefully land is going to be out later this year. So when I think about the impact that this will have on the game economy, and considering the wider macro differences, right? We were in a bull market back then that switched to a bear market, whereas we are in a bear market now. And I think the general sentiment is that we are going to switch to a bull market at some point within the next year after the Bitcoin halving. Because keep in mind, if the sale goes for a full year, this goes until October of next year, right? October of 2024. The halving is in April of 2024. And if you followed every other Bitcoin bull cycle before that, we usually, the bull run starts to be felt 6 to 18 months after the halving. And we usually top out anywhere between 12 to 18 months after the halving. But that's kind of outside the scope of this video. I'm just trying to talk about the macro differences as well as the micro differences in terms of how this sale is going to go. So I do get really excited about Rebellion because, again, 1 million packs seems like, at least from a lot of the sentiment that I've heard, 1 million packs, again, over the course of a year, seems like it is very doable. And considering how powerful and game-changing Rebellion will be and how much of an impact it's going to make on modern format, that to me says 1 million packs is probably doable. 2 million packs, which is where Matt is looking at from a company perspective, probably seems doable as well. And if we do get to that 2 million packs area, again, keep in mind buy pressure, sell pressure, how much SPS we would end up burning potentially in order to get that much DEC. But that's kind of where my head is at on all this. I just wanted to share some of the differences that I've been thinking about on this. I don't want to get overly bullish, but here's the thing. When Chaos was out, we were at a high, right? And so, of course, we were going to come down. Right now, we're at a low. So I think there's a lot of optimism that we can have some kind of sustainable growth going up. Do I still think that there will be probably some kind of potential pump and dump? Yes, a year is very long. And I don't think that we're going to sell like a perfect amount, split up over 365 days. There's going to be a massive pump at the beginning, probably some kind of dump, a massive pump when land comes out, some kind of dump, and then maybe, hopefully, fingers crossed, the Bitcoin halving does lead to more positive sentiment across the entire crypto space. We get more people coming in. The team works on some new, I don't even know what they're working on, right? But some new elements are expanding on land, maybe getting Soul Keep out sometime in 2024. That all adds to this, right? But again, I'm getting much wider than the scope of this video was intended to be. So that is all I have for you guys here. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'll catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.